more of a playmaker midfielder.
Dude, today I thought he was all right, but against United, I thought he was your worst player by far.
First half he was, but second half, like, he was definitely a lot more involved and created chances and should have scored. But De Gea had a good save.
Yeah, and then the same thing today. He kicked it right at the keeper, or kicked it right at
Robertson
on the
yeah. He just tried to go far post. I didn't sure you
dude. How did Rudiger not get a yellow card today or against United? Like, I don't understand that. I really like. Rudiger was literally picking Dan James up and just throwing him. I don't know how he didn't get a yellow.
It's hard not to though.
I mean, it's Dan James, but today. Literally, who was it? Mane was running away from Rudiger, and Rudiger literally just pushed him. And then he falls, and then, Kovacic came over and kicked the ball in Mane's face. Like, both of those are yellow cards, and not a yellow card was given. And then there was another time where Dan James plays the ball off, I think, to Shaw, and is making a run around to go through, because Shaw's playing it to Bruno, and Bruno was looking up to play it. And as the ball is going to Bruno, Christensen grabs Dan James and throws him down. And Bruno can't play the ball, so he has to turn.
Christensen's been so solid.
Yeah, he's so solid. But, like, that's a professional foul. That's a yellow card. And then later on in the game, Dan James was I think he won the ball. And then he played the ball to Bruno on a counter. And then Kovacic came over, wrecked Dan James. And then the referee, like, pointed to it and played on. He did that, like, 5 times whenever someone tackled Dan James. The other day, he would point to the foul and he'd keep going, and then he'd say play on, but he'd never go back and give the player a yellow. Like, Chelsea should have had about 5 yellows against United, and today they probably should have had 3 or 4. Honestly, I don't know how
Chelsea fans keep asking for like more like shithousery. Honestly, like,
and you have the past 2 games,
and like Kovacic and Rudiger are those guys, in my opinion.
Rudiger definitely is, dude.
I guess they just missed Diego Costa. Fair enough, because, like, definitely not. I would not take him now because he's old.
He's insane as well.
Yeah.
But
he'd make the game exciting doing that shit. Yeah. Being a hothead.
Yeah.
I just...
Kovacic is raw, though.
I really thought Wolves were going to go in for Diego Costa, but they got William Jose instead. So
it's probably a better investment for them.
I don't know at the moment. I mean, I still blame Nuno's system because William was scoring a lot at Sociedad. He came over and not have as many goals as he should. Yeah. Really,
Nuno's being way too pragmatic there. I mean, he has so much attacking talent, and he's like not utilizing it at all, other than just counter.
The thing is, he bought the right personnel too. Like, you want Semedo playing that right wing back spot. That's the ideal person to put there. He's Portuguese. It fits the bill. Fabio Silva's a talented young player with full potential. William Jose is almost the exact same player as Jimenez on paper.
I feel like Neto will go somewhere.
Neto's not staying at. Neto's not staying at.
Same with Podence.
I can see Neto going to Spain or Italy. Any like the top 5 clubs there. I would think.
Yeah, I see him going to Spain more than Italy. Italy is still like a kind of like a touchy place to go for some players, for real, because it's like they're still under not investigation, but under like trial for
match fixing.
Yeah, still even today. Like that, the Milan Derby, I saw something was like the calls that the referee was making were very suspect.
Alexis Sanchez went off today, apparently.
I mean,
I don't even know the score or anything. I just saw tweets just praising Alexis Sanchez.
A player can go off once every blue moon, man. That was...
Yeah, especially against Parma.
I actually...
Fuck Sanchez.
So, people are always talking about, like, City and, like, how like, great Pep's system is, right? But his system is good, like, obviously, because it's one of them shit. But he literally spends so much money. It's absolutely absurd. Yeah. His bench the other day was worth $500 million. That is more than 3 teams in the Premier League combined. That is, and I understand if you have the money, yeah, do it. But this talk that Pep is one of the best managers ever, dude, everywhere he's gone, he's already been on a team that's already winning championships, and all he's been getting is more money to put into it. Barcelona, that's when they were at their peak, getting money pumped into it. Bayern Munich, where they can get any player they want from the Bundesliga for free, basically. Now it's City. He can literally buy whoever he wants, and it's not an issue.
Yeah, tell me if I'm wrong, but he low-key kind of built almost half of that Barcelona team that he came into. Henry, Ronaldinho,
but
the center back that used to play with Puyol, who was it?
No, Ronaldinho was at Barcelona way before. Henry, yeah,
no,
he brought in.
I'm saying that those two left like as soon as Pep came. I think Pep only had Henry for 1 year.
No, yeah, for a couple of years. Henry was there for about 2 to 3.
But his success came after Henry.
But yeah, I mean, but
so
if you look at that
Sanchez
Barcelona
couldn't have been
team,
that expensive. Pedro, I know, wasn't that expensive.
If you could look at that Barcelona team before
Villa wasn't that expensive.
Pep because it's like the same thing with Barcelona and Real Madrid at that point. We're basically doing what Bayern Munich does in the German league.
Well,
they can just buy the best player.
The amount of money that City has spent is ridiculous. Don't get me wrong.
And at that point, that Villa was bought for Barcelona
from Valencia.
That was worth like a 60 million worth player at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
That went for like 30.
No. But like that time was like what 60 million now would be equivalent to. That's what I'm saying.
Which isn't that much considering he got you 3 Champions Leagues.
But listen, at that time, 30 million was a lot to pay for a player.
Yes.
Yeah. So then when he starts outrageously spending, and City start outrageously spending, and PSG start outrageously spending, he's keeping up with that. Like, I'm saying, I understand.
A grand total of 150 million 10 years ago still does not even compare to a $500 million bench.
I mean, look at Real Madrid's though.
No, but what I'm saying is in comparison, like, what would 150 million be 10 years ago? Probably four now, maybe.
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Let's say 4. If City has a $500 million bench, like that, even in the span of 10 years, is astronomical. I'm saying,
I think it's increased.
The money spent now compared to what he had spent at Barcelona was minuscule. I mean,
but again, like I'm saying, at that time, paying 30 million for a player then was like spending 60 million for a player now. So he still was spending at like almost the top that you could have for back then. So he still was paying an absurd amount for those players at that time. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, like him getting David Villa for 27 million is fine, but it's basically like him buying Cancelo last season for 70 million. It's literally the same thing.
Okay, that's ridiculous. But see, fullbacks don't even go for that much these days.
Yeah, like, he just did it to do it. It's the same thing he bought Ake for 40 million just because he was like, yeah, I don't want United getting him.
That's my point, though, is that like this is money being spent today. I'm talking about the money he spent back then. It does not even compare. Like it was so minimal to the money that he's splashing now.
But again, I don't know what you don't understand about me saying.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm saying I think you're missing what I'm saying is that he didn't necessarily like splurge on the Barcelona team that he walked into. Like Sanchez wasn't a hot.
Handed to him,
it was.
Sanchez wasn't like a hot prospect. Pedro wasn't a hot prospect. Villa was.
Sanchez was a hot prospect. Everyone was after him.
Where was he from?
Chile. United were after him.
What
PSG
club?
were after him. I can't remember.
That's what I'm saying.
They still spent 25 million on him, and that's still 50 million today. That's what I'm saying.
For a kid, like that's a good investment for what he turned out to be at Barcelona.
Yeah, I agree. But again, you knew going into it, you're getting a player that's going to be world class because you're spending the money to get that. That's like when he bought Bernardo Silva.
World class. I can't believe
at Arsenal he was world class.
Yeah,
but what I can't. I don't know how I can explain it.
I get what you're saying.
Like I understand he didn't splurge the way he has here at City, but he still was spending more than most coaches were at that time at Barcelona. He was still one of the top spenders because equivalent from then to now, it was still this. It's still he hasn't gone like astronomically. He's literally been the same compared to everyone. See what I'm saying? So like, what you're spending 30 million back then, 10 years ago, you're spending 60 million now. So you're like, if you were to get Sanchez back then to now, you're getting him for 60 million now. That's what I'm saying. So he still was spending an absurd amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like.
No. I've the past 3 times you've said that. I get that.
But why then? I don't see what you're saying because that he's not splurging because he still was.
But it's not as dude. A $500 million bench is retarded.
Yeah, and if you
That's
go
my
back,
point.
But yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And if you go back to the time he's at Barcelona, the bench that he had then would be equivalent to a $500 million bench now.
Dude, Abidal then was like $3 million.
He was already in the team.
Yes, but he was on the bench after.
He brought in. I think he brought in Eto'o, Henry, Zlatan, and he had Ronaldinho on the bench, and he had someone else. That's a $500 million bench.
Ronaldinho left before Zlatan was there. Ronaldinho was at Milan in 08.
They overlapped 1 year. Looked into it.
Ibrahimovic was there in 10. I'm almost positive that Ronaldinho was at Milan in 09. No?
Because they played, the second time they played together was when they went to Milan. When Ibra went to Milan after Barcelona. Yeah.
All right.
He just didn't ever play for Barca that year. Because that's why Pep got rid of him and Deco, who also was on the bench. He got rid of those two because they would just come to training drunk. And they were trying to get Messi to come party with them. And Pep was like, hell no. So then he kicked them off the team, basically. So, like, they were still at Barcelona, is what I'm saying. So, like, he still had a $500 million bench back then that he does now. You can disagree with me, but based off of everything and how the trend has gone with money and the inflation, it's literally the same thing. There's so many things that can equate it. It's the same thing.
All right, so PSG spent more money than Pep though in the past 10 years from each club. Right?
Yeah, they spent $500 million on 2 players.
How many Champions Leagues do they have?
How many has Pep had since he's left the best team to ever play?
3.
No, since he's left the best team to ever play, how many does he have?
Well, this is different though because he's got titles with multiple teams. So it's
how many Champions League does he have? If you're gonna do the same thing with PSG,
none.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what does money matter though if you're not winning anything?
I don't see the point you're trying to make. I'm just saying he spent shit tons of money back then.
Yeah. And
if you were to equate it to now, it's the same amount of money that he's spending now as to then. The benches would still be the same amount of money if you were to equate it with the inflation. So he always was spending shit tons of money and was already had the best teams in the leagues. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why.
I'm with you. Yeah.
It doesn't seem like you are.
No,
I'm
questioning it. No, I'm not questioning anything. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, you don't have a point because you know I'm right.
Yeah, he's got the most Premier League titles in the past 10 years. Yeah. Man City, or how long has he been there? 5 years. He's got 3 titles.
Yeah, because he already went to a team that was winning, and he spent more money since he was signed to go there. He spent $1.2 billion. I don't see the point you're trying to make here. The entire team that he has now was not there prior to him being confirmed going there. The entire team.
Yeah, but I feel like you're saying he's a bad coach because he spends a lot of money.
No, he's a great coach, but he could not go to a team that doesn't spend a lot of money and build up a team. He could not do that. That's a fact.
Okay, word. I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah, he's only gone to teams that are already winning league titles.
You think Pep would have helped United win something?
No.
That's where I was going next.
No, because he wouldn't have got the money to buy all these players.
They didn't buy a whole lot at Bayern when he was there, though.
He bought all the best players in his own league for cheap. So he got away with it there.
Lewandowski and Götze.
Hummels. Who was the... Benacia, he came from somewhere there. They picked up... He already had Arjen Robben. He already had Ribéry. He had the whole German team. He brought... I don't know if he brought in Neuer or if Neuer and him came in at the same time.
He had Cruz too, huh? He had Xabi Alonso as well.
And he brought in Thiago from Barcelona when he was there.
Yeah, but they got Thiago relatively cheap, I thought.
You got him from 30.
Yeah, that's pretty cheap for Thiago.
For them, that's because Thiago had 1 year left on his contract.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So, I mean, Bayern, he did good business because he was able to get these players for cheap from Germany because all these teams were like, yeah, we'll give you our players for free. Bayern Munich, even though you're the best team in the league already.
Well, so who is the most tactical coach then?
I mean...
all I'm saying, who is it? Like, Nagelsmann, for example, he's done well with a bunch of randoms.
Yeah, he's insane.
Literally brought Leipzig from 4th tier in his formation or whatever to 1st tier.
Oh, he's been the coach the entire time? Nagelsmann?
At least most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time that they've existed.
Because he
came from Berlin. He was at Berlin.
Well, he was playing and he got injured.
Yeah,
and then he got into coaching.
He became a manager at the
2
years after that, or some crazy.
But which team?